10th NITI Aayog Governing Council meeting. The theme for this meeting was Viksit Rajya for Viksit Bharat. Means developed states for developed India. That is very important, and we have to achieve this Viksit Bharat Lakshya by 2047. Can it be possible without the cooperation between the center and the states? Obviously, no. Can it be possible without the developments in the states? Obviously, no. That is why Viksit Rajya for Viksit Bharat at 2047. Prime Minister Modi chaired this meeting, the 10th Governing Council meeting of NITI Aayog, and it was being focused on accelerating India's development to achieve a vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, that is developed India by 2047, coinciding with 100 years of independence. Now, here is this photo where you can see multiple ministers, like you can see the finance minister, defense minister, you can see the home minister over here. Okay. And Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar is also holding a portfolio. I'm not able to recall which portfolio he's holding. But he has 4 union ministers, and apart from them, the chief ministers and the administrators of various states were present in this meeting. Key highlights. PM Modi emphasized the need to increase the speed of development across the country. We have to pace up the development. He called for teamwork between the center and the states, and this is what is referred to as cooperative federalism. So, this is basically there. The vision is to make every state, city, nagarpalika and village developed. This approach will help India to become Viksit Bharat even before 2047. Goal of Viksit Bharat is the aspiration of all 140 crore Indians, requiring inclusive growth at all levels. Obviously, we all aspire to be living in this developed country. The agenda of the meeting. Governing Council discussed the following key areas. First is Viksit Rajya for Viksit Bharat at 2047. This is the theme. States were urged to prepare bold, inclusive vision documents, that what their vision is by 2047. And these vision documents have to be in line with the vision document of the Government of India for 2047. So, this is what you need to know. Promoting entrepreneurship, employment and skilling. Leveraging India's demographic dividend is important. Demographic dividend, a new term which you might have come across. So, let us discuss the meaning of this term. Dividend actually means profit, and demography is related to population. So the profit coming out of the population is called as demographic dividend. This profit will be maximum if you have the people in the working age group more and more. But by simply having the people, or by simply having more people in the working age group, this demographic dividend will be realized? No. You will have to create ample business opportunities or ample economic opportunities for them. These people who are in the working age group, they should be skillful. They should possess those skills. And then demographic dividend will be reaped. This is how we have to understand this concept of demographic dividend. So, here we are talking about reaping the demographic dividend, the promoting entrepreneurship, employment, skilling. All this will harness the population which is in the working age group. Manufacturing and services ecosystem has to be strengthened. Focus on creating enabling environment, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. MSME and information employment, supporting rural, farm and urban, non-farm and urban sectors. So MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, that is the biggest employer in India. Informal employment, 91% of India's workforce is in the informal sector. So it is going to be there. Opportunities in green economy, emphasis on renewable energy and circular economy practices. that has to be, promoted, that has to be there. Now, state level proposals. Jammu and Kashmir, CM Umar Abdullah, he was there, part of this meeting, and Jammu and Kashmir attacked or has been impacted by the Pahalgam terror attacks. And, these Pahalgam terror attacks has had a considerable amount of impact on the tourism in that state. He's wishing that tourism bounces back because that is one of the biggest economic contributors to the coffers of the state government. And he has been, vouching for that. So proposed holding PSU and parliamentary meetings in Kashmir to revive tourism and allay public fears after terror attacks. Called for construction of individual bunkers due to cross-border shelling. Haryana CM presented Vision Document 2047 and he wants to make Haryana a $1 trillion economy with 50 lakh new jobs added. Uttarakhand CM Pushkar Singh Dhami, he called for a national plan to tackle urban drainage issues because there are multiple such issues which have started impacting Uttarakhand, and he has called for that. Jharkhand CM Hemant Soren requested amendment to the Coal Bearing Act for land return post mining. Once the mining and all is completed, the resources are exhausted, that land should be returned back to the state so that some use or the other of that land can be done. And release of 1.4 lakh crore dues from the mining companies to the governments and all, that should happen. Goa CM Pramod Sawant expressed full commitment to contribute to the Viksit Bharat journey as part of Team India. Telangana CM A. Revanth Reddy proposed forming a national task force headed by the Prime Minister and respective CMs to harness economic potential of India's 6 major metro cities, that is Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore and Hyderabad. So this is there. Then next is Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu. He reaffirmed the state's commitment to socio-economic progress, sustainable development with the vision of Viksit Bharat. Then next is Tamil Nadu CM M.K. Stalin. He has been calling for increased allocation for the state from the central pool of taxes. It is currently 41%, but he has been demanding 50% and urged for a dedicated urban transformation mission because urban areas or urban centers will be the centers of growth. Andhra Pradesh CM Chandrababu Naidu suggested creation of 3 subgroups focusing on GDP growth, first group, population management, second group, and artificial intelligence, the third group. So this is what the various chief ministers demanded. Other important points, the NITI Aayog CEO BVR Subramaniam, he said that the Prime Minister focused on agriculture, where the maximum workforce is. Second, the focus was on education, and third is on healthcare in his address. Meeting showed unanimous support for Operation Sindoor also. PM Modi urged states to remove bottlenecks to attract investors, encourage manufacturing and generate jobs. Bottlenecks like old laws, obsolete laws, or bottlenecks like, pendency of clearances, lot of red tapeism, these are the bottlenecks. So Prime Minister urged to remove these. 31 out of 36 states and UTs, there are 28 states and 8 UTs in the country, attended the meeting. States like Karnataka, Kerala, West Bengal, Bihar and Puducherry did not attend this meeting. Political leaders including Hemant Soren, Endra Chandrababu Naidu, M.K. Stalin and Bhagwant Mann were present and engaged in discussions. There were multiple videos doing rounds on the social media where it was, witnessed as a healthy atmosphere, and many leaders, many chief ministers from the non-ruling party were also there, part of it. Okay. Now, next is controversies and criticisms. Mr. Jairam Ramesh of Congress criticized the meeting, questioning the nature of India's development. He said that ongoing concerns are there with respect to social harmony, which is not there, and institutional autonomy, which is too much there. Institutional autonomy like Enforcement Directorate and all, they are too active. The BJP responded by accusing him of creating unnecessary controversies. The Congress described NITI Aayog as an incompetent body and dismissed the meetings as hypocrisy. About NITI Aayog, now this NITI Aayog was established in 2015 as a think tank, and this NITI Aayog replaced the Planning Commission. Concept of planning was deeply rooted in India's governance right from the very beginning. We adopted this from USSR. USSR also worked on 5-year plans or planned economy. We also worked on the same model or started working on the same model. For nearly 6 decades, Planning Commission was the main body responsible for formulating plans, following a control and command approach on various sectors, on various states. So it was kind of a super center of power, Planning Commission. On January 1, 2015, the Planning Commission was replaced by NITI Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India, emphasizing a bottom-up approach, aiming for maximum governance with minimum government. NITI Aayog embodies the spirit of cooperative federalism by involving states as equal partners. The states are involved as equal partners in this. Composition of NITI Aayog: the chairman is de facto the Prime Minister of India. Vice chairperson is appointed by the Prime Minister. Governing Council consists of chief ministers of all states and lieutenant governors of union territories. They all are part of Governing Council, and this was the 10th meeting of the Governing Council. Regional councils address specific regional issues, comprise chief ministers and lieutenant governors. Those regional councils are also chaired by the PM or his nominee. Ad hoc members, 2 ex officio members from leading research institution can be made as ad hoc members on rotational basis. Ex officio members, up to 4 union ministers nominated by the PM can be ex officio members. Chief Executive Officer is appointed by the PM, BVR Subramaniam, he is at the current time, and that person is appointed for a fixed tenure equivalent to Secretary to the Government of India. And special invitee experts nominated by the Prime Minister. NITI Aayog hubs. There is this Team India hub, acts as the interface between states and the center. Second is Knowledge and Innovation Hub, builds think tank capacity for policy and innovation. Aayog also plans to release 3 key documents. These 3 key documents: 3-year action agenda, 7-year medium-term strategy, and 15-year vision documents. Planning Commission used to release 5-year plans. So 5-year plans we are done away with. Now this is released. So these are not, this cannot be called as 15-year plan. This is the vision document. A short-term vision document of 3 years, medium-term of 7 years, and a long-term of 15 years. This is how things have changed. Importance of NITI Aayog: see, Planning Commission became obsolete in India's diversified market-oriented economy. There was less scope for planned economy because we adopted liberalization and privatization after the LPG reforms. India's states vary widely in development stages. One size fits all approach will not be applicable. The northern states like Bihar, Madhya Pradesh or UP and all, they were not performing well in multiple indicators related to human development and all as compared to the southern states. So one approach fits all does not apply. The states which are more backward need more support. As simple as that. NITI Aayog's flexible and cooperative model aims to make India more competitive globally, because we need to reduce the inequalities as well. Key objectives of NITI Aayog. First is foster cooperative federalism, and you know what cooperative federalism means. It is, where cooperation is there between the center and the states, irrespective of any political party which is in power in the state. And it is also encompassing cooperation between various states. It is not only on that aspect, cooperation between center and states. It is also on that aspect, cooperation between the states. That is what cooperative federalism means. Develop credible village level planning mechanisms. Bottom up approach. This is what we are following. Incorporate national security interest in economic policies wherever relevant. Address needs of socially vulnerable groups to ensure inclusive development. Facilitate partnerships with think tanks, research institutions and policy experts. NITI Aayog in itself is defined as a think tank or demarcated as a think tank. Create a knowledge, innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem in the country. Innovation is very important, entrepreneurship is very important, jobs will be generated and such like. Provide a platform to resolve intersectoral and interdepartmental issues to accelerate development. Maintain a state-of-the-art resource center for governance, research and best practices dissemination. So, this is what we can do. Challenges and concerns. NITI Aayog needs to prioritize objectives effectively and clarify distinctions among policy, planning and strategy. Second is it requires greater autonomy and budgetary flexibility. Moving beyond traditional plan, non-plan expenditure to better fund infrastructure. But autonomy is less. Planning Commission autonomy was too high. That is why it became a power center. Must build trust and credibility surpassing that of the erstwhile Planning Commission, because Planning Commission had lost this trust and credibility among the population. Now, difference between Planning Commission and NITI Aayog. What has been the difference? First aspect is nature. It is advisory think tank. NITI Aayog, Planning Commission was extra constitutional body with some extraordinary powers. Expertise, broad, diverse membership. Limited expertise were there. There were limited amount of people and power was concentrated. Then federalism. States as equal partners, they are considered. States were mere spectators in Planning Commission. Everything was decided by that central core committee of the Planning Commission. Leadership, CEO appointed by the PM. Here, secretaries appointed by the usual process of the government. Planning approach, bottom-up approach is there in NITI Aayog. Here, top-down approach was there. Everything was flowing downwards from that power center that was Planning Commission. Policy power, no mandate to impose policies. Imposed policies on states. That is why many states were not happy with Planning Commission. And last is fund allocation, no power to allocate funds. NITI Aayog is having. Planning Commission controlled fund allocation. This is the allocation of this year plan, this 5-year plan, like this. So all this was there. These were, I would say, most of them were the shortcomings of the Planning Commission, and that is why this was replaced by the NITI Aayog. Multiple initiatives which have been undertaken by NITI Aayog, multiple reports or multiple, I would say, initiatives which have been started by NITI Aayog. Here is a list. Okay. So you go through that list and in case of factual information, this is given to you.